The weekly code quiz. What is the role of the sizes attribute for source in the picture element? With the source as attribute, you are using widths to tell the browser the actual width of the image files. With the sizes attribute, you are specifying a width for the layout of the image so the browser can prepare a placeholder for the image. So despite the actual width of an image in srcset, the sizes attribute will determine the width of how the image is displayed on screen. Take a look at this code with the sizes attribute. Picture opening tag, source opening tag, srcset attribute. We have three images: image underscore sm small dot png at 400w, image underscore medium dot png at 800w, image underscore lg dot png at 1200w. Sizes attribute equals, we have a min width of 800 pixels, 80 VW, then a min width of 300 pixels, 90 VW, and then comma 100 VW. Image element with the source attribute of image underscore sm.png, alt attribute equals image, and title attribute equals image. Picture closing tag. Now, if we were really using this code in a website, we would need to flesh out the alternative text and title to be more appropriate for whatever image we're using. This is just a quick example. Given this example, what image would load if the browser width was 1200 pixels, and at what percentage of the viewport window would it display? Image underscore lg.png will be displayed at 80% VW, which stands for viewport window. Here's the code with the relevant part highlighted that shows how the browser is interpreting your code. Given the width of 1200 pixels, it will look at the large image, the image underscore lg.png, and because the sizes attribute for a minimum width of 800 pixels means we will display at 80 VW, that is where we get the 80% of the viewport window. Given this example, what image would load if the browser width was 400 pixels, and at what percentage of the viewport window would it display? Image underscore sm.png will be displayed at 90% VW, or viewport window. Looking at the code with the relevant portion highlighted, we see that at 400 pixels, the browser will look to the smallest image, image underscore sm.png at 400w, and because the sizes attribute says that the minimum width of 300 pixels means 90 VW, our image will be displayed at 90% of the viewport window. Let's look at the full code again. What attribute is used with the source element to work with different image file formats? When you are using the source element to give the browser an option to load one of the newer image file formats, you will need to add the type attribute to let the browser know the MIME type of your image. MIME stands for Multipurpose Internet Mail Extensions. If the browser does not support the MIME type of your image, it will skip it. Let's look at code with the type attribute. Picture opening tag, source element, type attribute equals image /webp, srcset attribute equals graphicimage.webp. Source element, type attribute equals image /svg plus xml. Srcset attribute equals graphicimage.svg. image element, source attribute equals graphic image.png, alt attribute equals a sample image graphic, title attribute equals graphic. Picture closing tag. If we're using the latest Google Chrome browser that has the full support of newer image file formats such as webp and avif, which image would load based on the code? Graphic image.webp. The browser will load the webp MIME type image because it supports this newer file format. If we are using a very old computer running Internet Explorer that has no support of newer file formats, which image would load? The default image graphic image.png will load because neither of the newer file types SVG nor webp are supported. Presented by Designers Learn Code.